So looking at a couple of extra exercises. This replaces the roll down with a band. Just bring your hips, sit on something, a stool, a cushion, buffet or something like that, and bring your rib cage and the back of your hip up against a wall or a surface. Take your feet just to a kind of a balanced position, so they're not pushing you or pulling you, so they're just kind of half even. And then take a breath, take them a little bit wider and turn them out about 30 to 40 degrees. Ensure that the knees and the shins and the feet are all in a similar plane of movement. Let your arms rest on the insides of the knees. This provides a bit of support on the way down, and then a little bit of resistance and challenge, load, something to make the muscles on the back work a little bit harder. So the idea is that your gaze starts vertical. Try and make sure you're on both sit bones, not off to one side, so you're really even. And then using your hands to mark your progress, just stay at the same point at each time down your legs. So breathing in to prepare, keep the rib cage and the back of the hip against the wall behind you. There should be a little hollow in the small of the back. As you bring your gaze down the wall in front of you, you tuck your chin, and then you start to roll through your ribs. But as you go forwards, it's almost as though the ribs push up behind you, and you'll feel a little bit of friction on the wall backwards. Now when I get to about here, my waist is now up against the wall and my arms are starting to travel down towards my ankles. I keep rolling my body forwards and down. I take a breath in at the bottom, making extra space in the back of the rib cage. And this is like opening up the shoulders, this low line here. It's really the only place the breath can go, so it's really fabulous. And then as you start to breathe out, start to focus on the line of muscles on the back of the body. Think about them pulling your pelvis to vertical, and then it's pulling your waist into the wall behind you. And then it's almost as though the body is tipping backwards and down to rebuild and restack. And each joint in turn. Don't move the head before your shoulders come on, and just at this point you should feel a slight softening, a little bit of room behind the lumbar spine. Now from there, the challenge is to keep this completely the same and just draw the hyoid or the base of the skull backwards without letting the chin lift. So it's kind of a backwards and upwards movement. We breathe into that space, and now we're using the breath to create decompression and joint and space between the joints. And then with that sense of space, we tuck the chin again, bringing the gaze down along the floor and underneath you. And you want to almost be looking at your hips as you roll your spine forwards and off the wall. Breathing out at the bottom, breathe in, hold, and then breathe out. Start to tip the pelvis, the waist, the rib cage, bone by bone by bone. Try and elevate rather than press the rib cage forwards. So you shouldn't feel that, it should feel that you stay with it, and it kind of pushes back against you, and that means you can push up against it and use that to pull your chin back, lengthen the throat. So 5, 6, something like that. Just try and find a fluidity to the movement. Don't worry if you don't get it quite right. Think about this as a progression. As you get more comfortable with the movement, it will get easier, it will get more fluid, it will get a little bit more balance left to right. So you're always going to want to be on that right side. So just try and feel that you stay a bit heavier on the left, and try and feel that you've got that lift through your spine. So there was that one. And then we were going to do some shoulder release exercises. Now in this position you can feel where your shoulders are on your back. So take your arms forwards, have them just elbows level with kind of halfway up your rib cage. And then the idea is that you're trying to feel that your shoulders stay still and stiff, and as you inhale you draw your arms apart, keeping your gaze forwards. Now it'd be really easy to pitch the shoulders forward and let your ribcage lift off. So no, try and keep that connected. Breathing in and then breathing out. And feel like your arm bones are doing most of the work and the shoulder blades themselves are just staying kind of vertically stacked and not moving. Now, we can do the same again with a lift of the arms. We're going to come from palms down, so there's a little bit more resistance. Focus forwards, lift into the ribcage, make space between your shoulder blades, and then as you pick your arms up, try and feel that your shoulder blades are rotating out from this point as the arms go above shoulder height. And then as you bring your arms back down, try and feel that you let them glide just to where they're vertical, so that the tip of the shoulder blade is under the middle of the curve at the top. And then from there, as the arms come down, keep them still. Okay, hope that makes sense.